Mega is an improvised satire from the staff of a fictional megachurch.
I'll bring Greg in and then I'll bring you right in.
Okay.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. We love to introduce you to members of our church staff, people from our community, and I find it to be a treat and a treasure. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
I've got nothing left to say because Jesus is the way, Hallie. Except I do have a few things to say today, but you know what I mean. Jesus covers all the other bases.
Yes, too blessed to be stressed and way too grateful to be hateful. Well, just like Jesus says he would leave the 99 sheep to find the one lost lamb, we have an honest-to-goodness lost lamb seeker, a genuine seeker on our program today. It's my pleasure to introduce Andy Keycamp. How you feeling today, Andy?
Oh, hey, I'm feeling good. Thank you for ushering me into this room and in front of these microphones.
Well,
yeah,
Andy,
thanks for saying yes.
I know. I want to like dub this one like Seeker Week or something because we've never had anybody who is an honest to God seeker on.
And I'm so
Hallie?
sorry if there's a confusion.
Okay.
I'm not an athlete of any kind.
Oh, no. A seeker meaning someone who might be looking to find a church home and
a personal relationship with Christ.
That's right. Well, you know, Hallie, we can get into that, but
That's
for sure, you definitely need a church home, doesn't he, Hallie?
Yeah, and you're gonna find that you're gonna meet this kind of countercultural, cool Jesus dude who, Andy, he loves you like you have never been loved before. And I got to tell you, I'm so glad you're here because, Gray, I was outside. I was walking in. A lot of times I park way out in the double K part of the parking lot to get my steps in. I'm getting up my 20,000, 200,000 steps a day or whatever my goal is.
200,000.
Do you count your steps, Andy?
No, but I that seems like a lot to me. This is a big number.
I guess it matters what kind of steps you're taking.
Yeah,
right?
are they baby steps? I mean, how do either of you know how many steps a human's supposed to have in a day?
Is that a is that a psalm?
Is that a question?
Is that a
Yeah, I don't know.
See,
Hallie.
you are a genuine seeker. You're already looking for it to be in the Bible. And my friend, you're going to find it. So I was walking in from way back in Double K part of the parking lot, and I saw this man walking around the campus. He was down by the retention pond. He went up by one of the trailheads, and then I saw him by the volleyball courts and out near where the horseshoes are and the newly, the bocce courts are under construction near the pickleball courts. And so I went up and I said, "Hey friend," and I just,
and who was it, Hallie?
It was our friend Andy Keycamp.
Oh, it was Andy. Okay.
It was me.
And
what were you doing out there, Andy?
I was lost. First of all, I was kind of lost.
Okay.
But I was, but then I was sort of like going with it and just sort of like, is this like a tech startup around here? It's nice. It's a nice area.
It's really nice. A lot of people think that. And, well, I've got to ask you, first, what was your impression? I mean, were you just looking around going, is this church? I mean, could you even believe that once you found out it was a church? Or do you know it's a church?
Well, there were a couple levels of realization. It was not at first, is this church? But there was a point where I was like, hold on, is this a church? Is this a churchy area?
Well, just kind of like a different inflection, but
yeah. And I'm just gonna be completely honest. It seems like you two appreciate that. Like you said seeker. I don't know. Not even sure. Maybe I'm like pre-seeking. I am open to being open to having religion back in my life. I'm not sure if I want a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, but I'm open to like an impersonal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Sort of an informal relationship, or maybe
just taking it slow,
Well, there is no pressure here because I think what you'll find is that around Twin Hills, the excellent programming, the amazing people, and the things that we're doing around here sort of speak for themselves. And I do want to ask you, you said, did you have a religious upbringing of some sort before you got lost on our campus?
Yeah. I grew up in Ohio. So that means that I was raised Catholic for the most part.
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
And I think I just sort of so I sort of took on a lot of anxiety from that. And sort of as I got older, I decided, first I decided I just wanted to have more free time on Sunday. And then I just sort of slowly decided I didn't believe in God anymore.
It's a story we hear all the time. And I'm so sorry you grew up Catholic. I'm so sorry you have anxiety. I've never had that. I don't really believe it, but or believe it is possible for me. But something that I will say is, what do you want to be doing on Sundays that with your free time right now?
Well, first of all, I like to sleep on as much of Sunday as possible. I like to sleep in.
We have actually some amazing night services. Go on.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I kind of like work non-traditionally. So it's so great. Like, it's great to see a movie on a Wednesday afternoon. You don't want to go to the busy times, basically.
What do you do for work?
I'm a carpenter and a fisherman.
That
my
is so
goodness,
biblical.
Allie.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is
I
a
have
God
bumps.
thing. I have God
I have
bumps.
God
This
bumps.
is
Oh
a
my
God thing.
gosh.
See, I don't know if they talk about Jesus much in Catholicism, but did you know that? Did you know that Jesus was a carpenter, and some of his main homies, his number 1 and 2 homies, were
BFFs.
fishermen?
That's so fun. I mean, it's so long ago, but I think, I'm trying to remember. When I remember from that time, I have a lot more specific memories of who all the characters in Thundercats were than exactly like what Jesus's job was, what his class and alignment was.
Maybe, Hallie, and I want to get back to how you make a living as a commercial fisherman in Indianapolis, but...
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. When I said I'm a carpenter and a fisherman, I mean I build sets for the band Phish.
Oh,
I don't know who they are, but
wow.
So you build sets for a band. There's no fishing involved.
There's no fishing involved. No, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But it's just but in the industry, I'm known as a fisherman.
Oh, okay. You know what? Still a God thing, I think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, have you ever put a worm on the end of a hook, like with your nephew or something, and just pulled in a bluegill or anything?
This is one of the I don't know. Some of these metaphors are making me a little uncomfortable.
Okay. So, just to get back, so I'm not sure if they talk about Jesus. Wait, what was I saying right before that?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I just want to give you a word basket of encouragement, Andy, and let you know that the impression you got of Jesus and of the good news of the gospel, the impression that the Catholic Church gave you, oh, what a shame.
It's a bummer.
They gave you the wrong impression,
bummer.
Andy. And you know what? They have a bunch of gobbledygook where they're putting the word saint in front of every name. You don't need it. It's confusing with Mary. Why are we talking about Mary? She doesn't matter. We got to keep our eyes on Jesus.
Yes.
You don't
less
have to
characters
go to
is what you're saying. Less characters for me to keep track of.
Definitely. And I think, Hallie, sometimes it's good to meet someone where they're at.
Yep.
And if Thundercats is your thing, I'm a bit too young to remember that, but maybe, if you named a Thundercat, we could tell you.
We're about the same age. I mean, how?
I don't know. I don't remember Thundercats. I remember some of like my, like older brothers' friends talking about it or something, but
only a little bit older, right?
I don't really remember it. I mean, I guess stuff that was on TV. I mean, in Australia, by the time that we had a similar show. There was the Lightning Dog. The Lightning Dogs variety show was kind of our version of Thundercats.
Sure. Oh,
and
yes.
they're Woofy, Bobo, Claw, the dog who jumps. That was
the Australian Thundercats?
Yeah, it was Thundercats was based on that Australian show. But anyway, Allie.
And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Greg. I didn't realize that of course you wouldn't know that show. You're Australian. I didn't realize at first. I thought maybe you were having an allergic reaction or something.
Oh, no, this is honestly, I get that all the time. This is how I talk. And, but a lot, and I also get, people think that, people think I'm in my 20s. And
the climax kids keep you young.
I know, and I definitely relate to younger people doing young and hip, cool things.
And it's so cool, Andy. I've learned so much about the down under stuff from Gray because, everything's the opposite there. The water goes down the drain the other direction. It's summer in the winter and it's winter in the summer. So if they had Thundercats there, it would be the opposite. It would not be Thundercats. It would be, lightning dogs.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, but I do want to get back. Maybe we could just, if you tell us the Thundercats, we could tell you the biblical characters that might line up for you to help you, get a little bit more interested. And we don't call it religion here. We just call it an awesome way to live.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I haven't been feeling. I have been feeling like I need something, so I'm open to a more awesome way of living.
Okay,
and luckily I have a photographic knowledge of everything involving Thundercats. So, so all of this is going to be 100% right. There's Lion-O.
Okay. Well, Lion, I think we, maybe if you're familiar with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Aslan was a lion, and Aslan was, of course, Jesus. So Lion-O. Yes. Did you know Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a Christian thing?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I mean, I only read that,
awesome.
but I only saw the movie. So is that something that happens in the later movies?
That's happened. That's actually something that in the books, I think they actually crucify the lion, don't they, Helly?
That's right. And not only Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, Andy, also The Lord of the Rings. All those movies, Hobbit, everything, all the Peter Jacksons, those are all Christian movies too, because J.R.R. Tolkien loved Jesus, couldn't get enough.
Massive fan.
There's Snarf.
Okay, Snarf. What's he like?
He's little and he says Snarf. He's one of those, like, I say my name is my language kind of creatures.
I see.
That really sounds like Judas to me.
That sounds like a Judas. Yeah. Kind of unassuming, but then at the end, he really, screws everything up.
He really snarfs it up.
He snarfed up 30 silver shekels. That's for sure.
That is true.
Okay, who's next?
Chitara.
Chitara. Well, and if that one lines up with the lightning dogs, which I think it does, she's a kind of the sexy one. Is that appropriate?
She is the sexy one.
That would be Mary Magdalene. Because she was unfortunately a prostitute, but because Jesus, because she started to follow Jesus, she put down her tools of prostitution and she followed him, which is awesome.
Yeah, the whole tool belt and the whole toolbox.
So I'm hearing that sex work is frowned upon.
Yes. And luckily, since we know that you're a carpenter and a fisherman, or a fish builder or something,
fisherman.
Yeah, I'm assuming
it's just
that
spelled
doesn't
differently.
apply.
It's pronounced the same, fisherman, but it's just spelled differently.
Well, the other thing about sex work, Andy, is that they call it the oldest profession in the biz. And the thing about a megachurch is we're very modern and relevant, so we like to leave those relics in the past, like all the things you had to tolerate at Catholicism, the incense and the Latin and the boring stuff and the paintings and the, cathedrals and everything. What you're going to find here is a full drum kit on stage. We've got lighting effects that, would put the Academy Awards to shame. We can fog the room. I mean, I can't wait to get you into one of our weekend services, because the first thing you'll do is let your head spin around on your shoulders and go, this is church?
I bet the band that you work for doesn't have that, do they?
Well, yeah, there's a fair amount of that, but I'm open to. Can I ask, as I'm trying to ease myself in, like, is there any kind of like a part-time option?
Well, the thing is, Andy, once you accept Jesus, a lot of people think that maybe I'll just do it a little bit. Maybe I'll just
that's
go
what I'm
halfway.
thinking. That is exactly what I'm one of those
Christmas
people.
And
you
Easter.
think that in your head, but your heart just won't let you. So I think
my heart will let me is my only thing.
Everyone says that, and then they end up being proven wrong. So I don't want to argue with you about the state of your heart, because
Sure.
only God really knows that. But I guess if I was to ask you, what do you feel like on a daily basis, and how, what is that feeling deep inside you that just, you feel most ashamed of? What are the things that you're most ashamed of? I guess what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know if it's shame exactly, but I found more and more that I have this dread of dying. I feel like in the middle of the night, I just am suddenly convinced I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But not enough to do anything about it, but just enough to sort of lay there and be like, oh, great, I'm dying. I'm definitely going to die tonight.
And you know what, Andy? That's washed in the blood.
Isn't that awesome?
You're both saying that phrase.
Andy,
like you seem like you're really, I don't.
What you're saying is, in the middle of the night,
Mm-hmm.
you're very scared.
Yeah.
You know you're going to die.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to go after you die.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, is washed in the blood.
You're covered in the blood, bud.
I was with you until that last
Well,
couple words.
It's confusing to think that something could be washed in blood, because you picture that movie Carrie, and you go, well, those people were washed in blood and it was pretty messy. But this is a totally different thing. And what you'll find,
It's
Andy,
a clean blood.
is that you won't want to be a part-time Christian. You know
Right.
what, Andy? I say go for it. Come half the time at first. That's all you have to do, because you know what's going to happen is that you're going to fall so deeply in love with Jesus. You're going to have such a deep sense of belonging. You're going to feel so part of an incredibly excellent community that you're going to start showing up all the time. You're going to be sitting, this summer and being like, you know what? I could sit here on my couch, maybe play another round of Call of Duty, but I could also go down to the church campus and get in the lazy river, or dive off maybe, the high dive in our Olympic-sized pool. We got a singles ministry if you're single. We got a married ministry if you're married.
Are you married?
I am. I'd have to check. I am.
What do you mean
I
by
am
that?
currently. I am in the process of being unmarried, but I'm not. I have to check with the paperwork to see exactly where that all is.
Well, God can meet you right there in those
It's
divorce papers.
absolutely covered
It
in the
grieves
blood.
the heart of God, to sever the sacred bond of marriage. But I'll tell you what, that also is covered in the blood. And my man who likes to sleep in on Sunday morning, Andy, I'll tell you what, we have a 5:00 on Saturday nights, a 7:30 program on Saturday nights. So on a Saturday night, you could bring a good looking gal to church and show her what a cool guy you are. And the next thing you know, God is going to deliver a Christ-centered woman into your life who will be the perfect helpmate. And does that sound good to you, Andy?
I don't know that I'm necessarily looking for a Christ-centered woman. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know that that's what I need it to be at the center, right?
Okay.
I see.
This is starting to brush up a little bit against some of the stuff that I struggled with as a teenager with church.
No.
It was that
Masturbation.
it felt like it was all just about that. And I vividly remember, have either of you ever, I don't know if you guys read much.
Yeah, love it, especially the Bible.
I remember reading this book, A Prayer for Owen Meanie, and I remember at the beginning there was like a quote, without somehow destroying me. I have the book in front of me. I carry this book around with me.
Oh, great.
Without somehow destroying me in the process, how would God reveal himself in a way that would leave no room for doubt? If there was no room for doubt, there would be no room for me, Frederick Buechner. And that really sort of summed up, like, why does God have to have everything? That's why I kind of want, like, can I maybe believe in God half of the time? And even, how about this? I would even commit to a quarter of the time being fully God focused, right? Like full on. But then some of the time, maybe then a quarter of the time, I'm sort of like, I'm into it, but it's not my top priority. And then half the time I'm practically oppositional to it.
Hey bro. Can I just get a little close to you here? Just take my hand like this.
Closer than you already are. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of just in, I just want to hold your hand like this and kind of this bro handshake and put a hand on your
This is
shoulder.
very painful, but go on.
I love that you read that book.
Thank
I love
you.
that quote.
Oh.
But I'm going to tell you right now, God, your heart is not like a timeshare, bud.
Oh.
It's not fractionally owned. God wants the whole thing. Isn't that awesome?
He wants the whole thing. You don't, that doesn't, either of you, that doesn't give either of you pause. Like he wants the whole thing. Isn't that a little greedy?
The only person with pause here is the Thundercats. And I'm letting you know that God wants the whole thing. So when you're lying, crying in your bed at night, saying, I'm going to die, and I'm so sad that this lady left me and served me with a bunch of paperwork, and I'm going to wake up and probably struggle with masturbation as I try to sleep in all Sunday morning. Like you said, I'm just repeating back to you. There are a lot of assumptions
in there, but
that's
okay.
I'm just repeating back what you said.
Okay.
And
I didn't speak about masturbation, but again, I'm not going to refute some of the details that you
It was just kind of inferred, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want you to know it's all covered in the blood, and you don't have to worry about it.
And here's the thing, Andy. God made you with a Jesus-shaped hole in your heart.
In his image.
And only Jesus can fill that hole. And you know what?
I don't love that. I got to be honest.
Do you like donuts? Because we have a donut hole window right here on campus, especially on Sunday mornings. It's also open on Saturday nights, where you can get donut holes that are shaped like Jesus. And I mean,
you're
those
winning me
things
back
are
with the
tasty.
donut holes.
We got glazed, we got powdered, we got chocolate on chocolate, we got sprinkles on chocolate, Jesus-shaped holes, to just really, drive home that idea that you have a Jesus-shaped hole in your heart, bud. And when that gets filled and he enters you like that, guess what? No more scared in the middle of the night at all. And in fact, you'll be excited about dying, because you'll be like, the second I die, I get to be with Jesus, my best friend, somebody who has loved me. I mean, he's going to hold you in his arms at that pearly gate someday soon. And you're going to, guess what happens when you get to heaven? You get a perfect body. I mean, you'll be able to, have you ever wanted to slam dunk a basketball? You'll be able to do that, bud.
Okay. I mean, okay. The perfect body in heaven part, I can kind of get behind. I'm still, look, just in the interest of being honest, there's a part of me that is really angry about the Jesus shaped hole in my heart that he put there. That seems like a real dick move to me personally. And I'm sorry, I apologize if I'm using language that I shouldn't be using around you.
Okay. It's covered in the blood.
It really is.
It's covered in the blood.
And it's not that he wants everything, Andy. It's that he is everything. The Bible says he's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end.
And why do you think that Jesus put the hole there? Because
sounds like a planned obsolescence kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I think you're just getting into the weeds with it, which is, hey, let me ask you a question. Say you were in the Come and Go parking lot and a guy is robbing the Come and Go, and you go to stop him, and
is Come and Go, I'm so sorry, is Come and Go an Australian thing?
I think we have one just outside of town. I think they changed the name to just.
And now it's a Starvin' Marvin. It's the one over on Keystone, right before the entrance to getting on 69.
So, say that guy is robbing the Come and Go, and he pulls out a gun, and he shoots you right through the heart.
Oh no!
That would be bad.
Are you laying there bleeding out, thinking just like you think every night, I'm going to die and I don't know where I'm going to go? Are you going, hey, wait a minute, hey? How did this hole end up in my heart and who put it there? And I want the whole backstory and I want to ask all these questions about it. And why did he do that? And where was he going? And what kind of gun was it? No, you're not going to ask that. Andy.
Okay. But counter metaphor, if a guy shoots me in the heart in a parking lot, my reaction isn't going to be, I got to get to know this guy. This guy that shot me in the heart is the answer to all my problems.
Okay. Well,
I don't want to go down. Why are you bringing up metaphors? I'm saying, I just want to say that it could be simpler than you're thinking. Just like if you have a hole in your heart, you got to fix it. Isn't that right? Or what? You say it. What happens if you have a hole in your heart and you don't
fill
fix it?
I assume you die.
Yep.
That's
yep,
right.
Yep. And I hate to tell you this, Andy. Oh, it grieves the heart of God. But when you die without being covered in the blood, you go
So
to
much
hell,
blood.
my man. You go to hell. And Lucifer's down there ready to torture you. He loves to just like, he's got whips and chains and cavernous fiery furnaces. And it's not going to be pleasant, my man. And here's the thing. There's another guy would love to tell you about. And this is a cool thought experiment, because what you're going to find is that being a Christian does not require mental gymnastics or intellectual suicide. No. There were smart people like C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien who thought, the redemption story was the best one on the books, And so that's why every story, what you don't know is that every movie you've ever gone to, whether it's Die Hard or Babe, every movie you've ever seen is replaying the story of the redemptive story of Jesus.
I don't think you can think of a movie that doesn't replay the story of Jesus.
They're all telling the story of Jesus, not just the passion.
I'm so sorry. I'm just taking a moment. I'm running through Die Hard and Babe in my mind. I can get there with Babe. I think I can get there with Babe. Die Hard, I'm having a Die Hard. I'm just maybe there's just maybe it's Jesus, but there's just a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, but the bad guy dies in the end, which is what's gonna happen.
Lucifer and the main guy who's always dying hard, or what? I mean, it's in the name. He died hard. Just fill in the rest for our sins, or in the case of Die Hard, to make sure the building didn't blow up.
And there's this guy. People talk about Joseph Campbell and the hero journey or whatever. No, there's this guy named Pascal, and have you ever heard of Pascal's wager? He is saying, hey, give it this thought experiment, pre-Christians. Give it this thought experiment. If there's a hell and there's a chance you're going to die, whether it's laying in bed at night of an anxiety attack or whether it's in the parking lot of the Starving Marvin after somebody shoots you through the heart, you're going to die, my man. And Pascal says, why not? Just in case there's a hell, why not make Pascal's wager and be like, you know what, Jesus, I do want you to, cover me in your blood. In a way that will cleanse these sins, and it's not like Owen Meanie said that he's gonna obliterate you, Andy Keycamp. He's just gonna obliterate your sinful nature, man. And that's the stuff you do that you hate that you do. This masturbation you keep bringing up, you don't want to do that anymore. And Jesus can help with that.
First of all, I didn't bring up masturbation, and second of all, I never said that I don't want to do that anymore. Like, both of those things, I know those things seem like they're in opposition, but both of those things are wrong.
They are wrong. It's wrong to touch yourself. It's wrong.
It just doesn't.
I hate to turn this into like a used car thing. The masturbation thing, and look, it's not just about the masturbation thing, but that's a walkout one for me. Like, if it's just to be clear, like if that's completely a no-go, then maybe this isn't going to work.
Wait, are you saying that you have to walk out because the feeling is so strong you have to just go do it at all times?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you're saying. Like, if you bring it up, I'm going to walk out of here and do it.
No, I'm not suggesting that I'm so horned up in this moment that I need to go out and masturbate. I'm just saying that, like, there are a couple of things, and masturbation is just a stand-in for those things that would be deal breakers for me. And as a follow-up question, could you recommend any religions where masturbation is allowed?
Well, as far as I know, I thought to be Catholic, it was kind of part of the whole thing. But I guess what I want to say to you, Andy, is if you could just name a few of the things that you value, that you're most interested in or value most in your life, just the top 3 things that don't have anything to do with religion, what would they be?
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in there. And masturbation can't be one of them.
It can't be. Okay.
No.
Then you're going to have to give me an extra beat here, so to speak. You know, I really value my freedom.
Okay.
Oh, great. Awesome. Okay. That's one. Freedom.
I really value, you know, my friendships.
Awesome. Love that.
Awesome.
I really value, you know, not being told what to do.
Great.
More freedom.
Yeah. I also value like an openness in my life to do what I want.
Okay. So you've named 4, and 3 are basically the same thing. And I asked for 3.
Well, I mean, there's nuance there. I really value like my own choices and being able to make them.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I think we all know what number 5 will be. But what I want to say is, of all of those things, Arnie, sorry, of all of the,
Wait, we're really going to save Arnie?
of all of those things, Andy, I just really hear you saying that you need to be free from sin. And there's only one way to do that, to feel absolutely free, because guess what's telling you what to do? Guess what's keeping you in chains? Guess what's keeping you from actually having a lot of friends, which was your number 2, but I don't think you could have a lot of them kind of the way you're living your life right now. And that is because sin is the thing that keeps you from all those things.
It's
Do you understand what I mean?
It's bondage. It's binding you, Andy. It is. And if I may just jump in here too.
I'm sorry, are you texting someone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I'm listening. I'm definitely, that's why I was like holding my finger up and like pointing to my ear while I was texting.
Right. Because this is pretty important. I'm just, you know, if you couldn't text during this part, that would be great. Because I think
is that a sin? I'm so like, is that a sin to text?
Not texting, but
no.
sexting, and which is probably something that you also do.
Might be number 6. And I'll tell you what, Andy, you know, speaking of, you know, pointing at your ear, guess who's whispering in that ear, Andy? It is Morning Star, Lucifer himself. The devil is whispering to you. You know what the devil is making you do? He's making you notice that attractive gal who's about to pass you as you're walking into the Starvin' Marvin. And the devil is saying, hey, maybe if you turn around once she passes and check out her rear end, that's going to be a rump that's going to send you straight home to do what you like to do so well, Andy. And that is keeping you in a prison of Lucifer's making. So if you want to be free, to be able to pass any woman on the street at any time, no matter what she's got up top in the front or downtown in the back, you will be free from having to ogle it and then go take care of business. Think about the time you'll have on your hands. You'll be swimming in freedom.
Well, I look, I'm just trying to carve out a space to be able to masturbate occasionally. This is not all the time. It's not the whole thing.
See, I knew it. It just
can I ask? I'm so sorry.
You just kind of wear
does this
it
work,
like a hat.
Does this work very often? I mean, I feel like I'm. Have you ever considered doing like a frog in boiling water kind of thing? Like,
what do you mean?
Just bring people in and slowly raise the temperature. Like, I'm willing to be coerced slowly over time, but I just kind of need to dip my toe in to start.
What's an example of something that you've done slowly over time that you were via coercion that you eventually were just okay with?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know if this fits exactly what you're asking, but, you know, I started by just occasionally going to a Phish show. You know, like I would occasionally go to a show and then I was like, maybe I'll go to a couple more shows. And, you know, cut to a couple of years later, my job is building sets. And I say sets, but really I'm just building like risers for people to watch Phish shows, like in each city, kind of in like the overflow area.
So you're saying that slowly over time, because you committed more and more of your time, energy, and effort to something, in this case, a band I've never heard of, now it's your total identity?
I wouldn't say it's my total identity, but it's my total career. Yeah.
Well, Andy, if you like Phish shows, guess what? Jesus took 5 fish and turned them into 5,000. Okay? Now that's what I call a Phish show. And you know what, Andy? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to reset. And you know what, Andy? I don't know, so far you're saying maybe we're coming on a little strong, but let me try a different tactic. I want to give you this. This is a inbox, still has the cellophane on it. This is a brand new, latest version this is a brand new iPad, not refurbished, bud. Look, still cellophane on the package, and that's for you.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Where'd you get that, Hallie?
I mean, that's great.
It's yours. I mean, everybody, every Christmas, all the staff get a new one every year at the Christmas staff meeting. And this one I just hadn't opened, but I want you to have it.
I'm sorry. This is your iPad that you're giving me?
It's never been opened. It's a gift that we want to give you. Also,
how long can I ask? Just to be clear, how long has it been sitting here unopened? Like, I don't want to take it if you were definitely going to use it, but if it's been sitting here for like couple months.
I got dozens of them. It's only 2 months old, and I want you to have it.
Oh, okay.
And don't worry, it has the Christ lock feature on it, so that you cannot look up porno without it completely deleting your entire hard drive. So that
does it give a warning? Like if I forget?
No, that's the best part.
Completely, huh?
Wiped clean, just like your sins.
Just like if you were washed in the blood, my man.
We got it.
We'll leave you alone now. I started to feel guilty.
Thanks, dude.